So I might have a problem, because these are just a few of the books I've bought in February. The other ones haven't arrived yet. So I thought I'm just gonna divide my February book haul in 2 parts, because I don't think I can fit every single book I bought in one video, because, well, I think the other stack would be as high as this, and I really don't want you to go through that. I'm gonna like show you all of the books I've got this far, and if I've read them, if I started them, I give you some opinions on them I have. And a little disclaimer before we start. I kind of caught a cold in the past few days, so I kind of still look terrible and my voice just starts coming back, so I also do apologize if I sound ill because I kind of just recovered, so please bear with me on that, and let's just get into the video. I'm not really going into chronological order because I don't know the order I bought them in. It's more like very impulsively like it, buy it kind of thing. So the first book is The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins, and I'm just gonna read you the backs from all of them, so you're gonna hear my voice a little longer. Meet Jane. Newly arrived in Birmingham, Alabama, Jane is a broke dog walker in Thornfield Estates, a great community full of McMansions, shiny SUVs and bored housewives. The kind of place where no one will notice if Jane lifts the jewellery off the side tables of her well-heeled clients, where no one will think to ask if Jane is even her real name. Meet Eddie. Recently widowed, he has become Thornfield Estate's most mysterious resident. Ever since his wife, Bea, drowned in a boating accident with her best friend, their bodies lost to the deep, Jane can't help but see an opportunity in Eddie. Not only is he rich, brooding, and handsome, but he could also offer the kind of protection she craves. Yet as the two fall for each other, Jane is haunted by the legend of Bea, an ambitious beauty and successful entrepreneur with a rags to riches origin story. How can she, plain Jane, ever measure up? And can Jane win Eddie's heart before her past, or his, catches up with her? With delicious suspense, incisive wit, and a fresh feminist sensibility, The Wife Upstairs flips the script on Jane Eyre in a timeless tale of forbidden romance, ill-advised attraction, and a wife who just won't stay buried. I don't know, that just sounded so scandalous. I had to buy it, and I'm very, very excited to reading that, hopefully soon. Then we have Aristotle and Dante Drive into the Waters of the World by Benjamin Elias N.S., which is the second part to Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. And if you've seen my previous videos, you probably are tired of me gushing about it. If you haven't watched my previous videos, you can go and check them out and get tired of me gushing about Aristotle and Dante, because they were just the cutest, and I am so excited to continuing. And the back says, Drive into the sequel to the award-winning international bestseller. Eric spends his life hiding who he really is, staying silent and invisible, but something in him crept open when he fell in love with Dante last summer, and he can't go back. Together, the boys are determined to make themselves seen and heard in a world that changes their very existence. But when Ari is faced with a shocking loss, he'll have to fight like never before to create a life that is truthfully, joyfully his own. I'm so excited for that, because it sounds so, I don't know, sweet, and I just really want to see where Aristotle and Dante go in their relationship and how that continues. So this is also very, very high on my TBR right now. Then I've bought When No One Is Watching by Alicia Cole, which I already started, but I'm not very far because I'm currently not really in the mood for a thriller, but it's good nonetheless. So the back says, Sydney Green is Brooklyn born and raised, but her beloved neighbourhood seems to change every time she blinks. Condos are sprouting up like weeds, for sale signs are popping up overnight, and the neighbours she's known all her life are disappearing. To hold on to her community's past and present, Sydney channels her frustration into a walking tour. and finds an unlikely and unwanted assistant in one of the new arrivals to the block, her neighbor Theo. But Sydney and Theo's deep dive into history quickly becomes a dizzying descent into paranoia and fear. The neighbors may not have moved to the suburbs after all, and the push to revitalize the community may be more deadly than advertised. When does coincidence become conspiracy? Where do people go when gentrification pushes them out? Can Sydney and Theo trust each other or themselves long enough to find out before they too disappear? I don't know, it just sounded very, very suspense, and as I say, it is very well written, like the first bits I've read. But right now I'm just kind of not in the mood for thrillers because I've read so many recently, so it's kind of on hold right now, but I'm very excited to dive back in it. Then I bought Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, and I really hope that I pronounced the name right. I also finished that already, and the back says, "Are you listening?" Kazu continued. "When you return to the past, you must drink the entire cup before the coffee gets cold." I don't actually like coffee that much. Kazu opened her eyes wider and brought her face an inch or so from the tip of Fumiko's nose. "This is the only rule you have to absolutely obey," she said in a low voice. And this is basically about a little cafe in Japan where people have the ability to go back in time to talk to people that are not in their lives anymore or they haven't seen in a while, as long as they've visited the cafe. And it tells the story of different people going to different times to talk to different people and their story behind it and what happened. And since it's in the same cafe, you always meet the same characters again. So eventually you also build this bond with these characters, and eventually you just really feel with them. And it has a very great story build up. And like in the beginning, you maybe won't like it that much. Like I needed some time to get into it, but when I absolutely loved it, and I loved the characters. They were also sweet and supportive and really nice, and I always wanted to go to Japan, but this book kind of made me want to go even more. So I highly recommend that book. Then I bought almost the entire Grishaverse, as somebody on TikTok so kindly pointed out to me. There are 2 missing. If you want to, you can also follow me on TikTok. It's linked down below. And yeah, I don't know, that was like kind of a spontaneous buy. I actually wanted to get them for a very long time, but there was always something keeping me. But now I really want to watch the TV show, but I want to first read the books. So actually I have started with Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone already, and I kind of read them simultaneously because I started with Shadow and Bone because I thought that was a reasonable thing to do. But then I did like a deep dive in where I should start, and everyone was like, yeah, you should start with Six of Crows. And I was like, okay, then I was just gonna read that too. And I was actually even more excited for Six of Crows because I've heard so much about Cass, and everyone was gushing about him, and I wanted to know what all of this is about. I'm very excited of getting like really deep into it, and I will so buy the other 2 books that I'm missing. And I'm very excited of starting the TV show because I just really love like depicting what they did differently in the show or film than the book, not in like a negative way, but I just find it really fascinating what they do decide to put in a show or film, and what they decide to leave out, and what they want to change. And I don't know, I've always found it very fascinating, so I'm very excited in doing that. But I wanted to read the books before I go into the TV shows. They're by Leigh Bardugo, I think she's pronounced. So this completes my little February book haul part 1. If you want to see the part 2, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on the little bell so you get a notification when I upload a new video. I'd really appreciate that. You can also follow me on my other social medias, which are all linked in the description box. And I hope you have a wonderful week or weekend, depending on when you watch that. And I hope I will see you in my next video.